Welcome to the highlighter portion of this declutter series. I'm very excited to be doing this today. I've actually been getting rid of a lot more than I was anticipating. I got rid of, I think, 27 bronzers, 20 something blushes. So I've been kind of on a roll today. So I'm excited to keep the momentum going. So let's go ahead and get into this. I think we'll just start with these really shiny things first that are kind of catching the light. This is my Too Faced Blinded by the Light, funny enough. It looks like this. This is a really pretty champagne highlighter. Definitely keeping this. It's very nice, very smooth. This right here is what it says it is a translucent loose setting powder glow. This is a highlighter, and it is a massive container of highlighter. I actually really like this as a natural highlight. I would not use this as a setting powder. I tried. Don't do that. It doesn't work. But as a really nice natural highlight, I do really enjoy this. Keeping that. All right, next, what am I seeing my reflection in here? The Bobbi Brown. This is the Bobbi Brown highlighter in Foiled Petal, the Luxe Gilded Highlighter. This is actually a little bit dark on me, and I don't love the formula. I think I'm going to keep it. It's still fairly new, and I haven't decided how I want to use it yet, or if I really don't like it. It's kind of a chunkier formula. Actually, it'd be nice as like a blush topper. So this actually reminds me of the Wet n Wild blush I got rid of that looks like a highlighter with like the little hummingbird on it. This actually looks like that. So I was hesitant to get rid of that blush, so I think I will go ahead and keep this. I think that'll fill that same void. I have another Bobbi Brown highlighter. This is the Pink Glow Highlighting Powder. Now this is a totally different formula. Like, this is so smooth and so pretty. So I am definitely keeping this one. It's just a little mini one, but definitely keeping that. I didn't go into this thinking I was going to swatch everything, but I just can't help myself. I have to touch it once I have it open. Okie dokie, let's go into the Hourglass. I am definitely keeping this. It is the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. I actually watched a lot of reviews for this. I bought this in 2020. Full price. Like, I just went on, I wanted something from Hourglass, and this is what I chose. At this point, I wish I had bought like a bronzer or something like that, but I bought this. All the reviews said you won't regret it. It's amazing, and it is pretty. I'm definitely going to keep it, and I'm definitely going to use it, but it's nothing spectacular. So I'm definitely keeping this. It was not cheap. I think we'll just go to the biggest thing here. This is my Rach Loves Pixie highlighter palette. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely keeping this. These two shades down here are amazing. Love that palette. This Milani highlighter in Supercharged, the highlighter duo. It's actually a cream and powder highlight. Like, this one's a cream and that one's a powder. When I first got this, I didn't realize it was a cream. I just kind of mixed them both together, but this is really, really pretty. I actually enjoy this a lot, so I'm definitely keeping that. Another from Milani. This is the Dolce Perla Baked Highlighter. Very, very nice. Very, very smooth on the skin. That one's really nice. Keeping that for sure. Now, if you watched my going through my backups bin, that's where this came from. I had my older one that was kind of, falling apart, and I had almost had pan, but it kind of looked chunky on the inside, and I ended up with a new one. I had to have gotten this from TJ Maxx or Marshall's or something. I don't know where I acquired this, to be totally honest with you. So I put it back in the collection. I'm definitely going to keep it. It's a favorite. So that is the Natural Nude Highlighter. The Becca Highlight in Rose Quartz. Definitely keeping this. I will probably keep almost everything that's Becca. Since you can't get it anymore, I might as well, Very pretty. And my Becca in Lilac Geode. This is the one that fell out in my lap the other day. It's fine. We put her back in. She's good. But keeping that. I really like this shade. It's kind of a pinky gold purple. I don't know. It's really pretty. It's really different without being like a blindingly different color on the cheeks. This is my Laura Geller Life Glows On. I'm going to keep this. I love the Laura Geller formula. Like this one is like a pink, a white to pink shift, then gold and like an actual purple highlight. I love this palette. I don't necessarily wear this purple one a lot, but if I were going to wear a purple highlight, this would be that one. It's just so smooth and like subtle. The way the light hits it where it's like, oh, there's nothing. Whoop, you have purple on your face. So I kind of like that. Anyway, keeping this one. Not to mention I accidentally bought a backup of this. Apparently I've had this so long that they've repackaged and renamed all of the shades, and I now have that one in my backups as well. All right, Lorac. We have the shade Twilight. I'm going to keep this one. This is fairly new to me, actually. Kind of this like golden taupey shade. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. I've not used this much. The ABH. I love the packaging of this. This is so cute. But the highlighter itself is a little bit chunky. But I don't know. I really like having this one. This is in Vegas and like all this. I don't know. I love everything about the way that this looks. So I may go ahead and keep this. And at some point, if I want to use this packaging for something else, I might. I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this though. I really just like having this in my collection. The Essence Pure Nude, definitely keeping this. It is a very hyped up product, and for good reason. It is really nice for like a really, really subtle, nice highlight. It's very much like this. You're not going to get like a bling, bright gold or pink or whatever cheek, but it's going to give you that nice, natural, lit from within glow. My ColourPop in Flexitarian, I'm going to keep this as well. It is my only ColourPop highlight. Now this is blingy, but I just don't love the packaging of the ColourPop products. I've talked about that with the little like screw-on caps. I understand for the formula that it's probably the best, most secure way to do that so they don't dry out, but I just don't reach for these little small things, you know, compared to some, you know, bigger products in my collection. But I am going to keep it. Maybe we'll get some use. I have a couple of highlighters from Believe Beauty. I have not even used this one on my face yet. This is kind of like almost a pinky looking one. And then this is more of just a gold. So if the formula is anything like the bronzers and blushes, I'm going to love it. So we'll see how those go. I've not used these yet. Pink Pearls and Good Vibes. Laura Geller, definitely keeping Peach Glow. I like the Laura Geller highlighters because there's not a lot of, what do they call it, back pigment. Like when you swatch it out, if you turn your hand, like it's completely gone. And then like there's the glow. There's not a streak of color. And most of them, no matter what like shade it is, it kind of does that where it kind of goes clear and then shifts. I don't know. They're really pretty. I love the Laura Geller ones. Speaking of which, we're also keeping this one. This is the Glow For It palette. This does have a repeat shade from the other palette, and I actually have this one in a single, but I will probably keep all of these. I got these all from TJ Maxx, and I don't plan on, you know, buying new ones from Laura Geller anytime soon, so I'm going to keep what I have. We'll use them while they're good. Okay, we'll deal with those in a second. This Flower Beauty palette I'm going to keep. When I first got this, I used it all the time. And I know for some people, this is like their #1 formula. It is really nice, but I tend to not reach for this whole thing a lot, but I do really enjoy the highlighters in here. So I'm keeping that. This Stila highlighter in Incandescence. This is one of those like weird putty. I got rid of a highlighter that I was trying to use as a bronzer and it didn't work. But I think I'm going to keep that. This is like an interesting formula. You know, it's not quite as pink as it is in the pan. So I'm going to keep that. It's kind of a funky one. It's almost the same texture as those ColourPop ones. Now, I've had this for a very long time. This is the Warm Nude highlighter palette from Physicians Formula. This looks like, when I swatch it out, wow, that's really pretty. It looks like the, I didn't mean for this to be all swatching, but I'm going to do it anyway. Pure Nude. Okay. Honestly, I was like ready to get rid of this. I've been really into this kind of highlight lately, so I think I'm going to keep that one and actually like take this out. The packaging, Physicians Formula, is the worst, but I think I am going to keep this one. Honestly, it's been so long since I've even like swatched it. I didn't even know what it looked like. Okie dokie, here's my Wet n Wild highlighters. Now I have two on my eyeshadow shelf, two palettes that I use for inner corner highlighting, but we'll kind of talk about those as we go. This is my newest highlighter from Wet n Wild. It is the Bloom Time highlight. This is beautiful. I love this highlighter. I'm keeping this definitely. Golden Flower Crown, Blossom Glow, and Precious Petals. Let's see if we have any duplicates in here. Now this one is a more like multicolor palette. It has a green, a blue. This one is like, it's a glittery powder in my opinion. This is absolutely beautiful in the shade Sweet Peony. So I'm definitely keeping this one, but I will probably put it back with my eyeshadows like I had it. But I can always grab it, you know, for a face highlight with this one if I want. So keeping that for sure. This is just like the multi palette. So I want to see if any of these, I think most of these repeat in here. So let's see. We have White Lily, which I do not have in one of these. Botanic Dream, which is this one. Then we have Blossom Glow and Golden Flower Crown, which are actually repeats of what is in this palette. So I'm going to swatch these and see if they actually, I've actually hit pan on that one. The palette looks a little more powdery and they should be the same. I mean, honestly, this is actually my second Precious Petals. I used one up completely. I'm going to think about these. I'm definitely keeping my Precious Petals because I don't have like a repeat of that. But these two being in this palette, I'm going to kind of set these off to the side for now and think about it, what I want to do with those. Now, this one has White Lily, which is in the other palette, Blossom Glow, Golden Flower Crown, and Gilded Hibiscus, which is even darker than everything else. So these are all repeats, and that one is too dark for me. So I think this palette is going to go. I love the packaging, but I think that this one's going to go. Let's bring in round two. Okay, I guess we'll just do these and then we'll bring in another batch in a minute. This is fine. This Hard Candy, this is my newest one, my newest highlighter. I've not even used this on my face. I got it at Walmart. It was kind of meh when I swatched it. I do feel like I need to use it on my face before I can decide. So I am going to keep this for the moment. I actually have a little basket over here. I'm going to put this in it and I'm going to put these blushes in it. I talked about keeping these out. I'm going to put the blushes in it and I'm going to put this in there to actually try because those are things I am definitely considering getting rid of if they're not any good. I don't have high expectations, I guess. This is the Revolution palette. There's no other name on it for what it actually is. I think I'm going to keep this for now. I really do love the colors in here. The Essence Pure Nude Highlighter Palette. I'm going to keep this one. This was another one that was like hyped up recommendations left and right. And it's just okay. It feels like it's similar to the formula of those Hard Candy ones actually. So yeah, I'm going to keep this for now. We'll see. We'll see. They don't feel the same as the Pure Nude single. They don't swatch the same as this. So just FYI. Another Laura Geller. This is Dripping in Gold. I love this like around Christmas time. I just like swirl all these together. Beautiful. Keeping that. I hate that it's a triangle though, I'll be honest. It's weird. It stands up, which is nice. It doesn't like roll around, but it's just weird to stand with everything else. My BH Spotlight Highlight Palette. I am hesitant to get rid of this because of all the things going on with BH Cosmetics. I feel like this is kind of an older formula. I think I'm going to put this with the maybes, with those Wet n Wild products. Because I don't reach for this a lot, it's not like a favorite for me, but I have a soft spot for BH Cosmetics right now. And I'm like, I don't want to get rid of my good stuff. I'm afraid that they're not going to be BH Cosmetics anymore, you know? So that's going to go in the maybe pile for now. This Ofra palette I am definitely keeping. Beautiful, beautiful. Keeping that. Actually has a blue highlighter in it, which is interesting. My e.l.f. Glow Gleam Beam. This was a Taylor Wynn recommendation, and it is very, very nice. I don't use this enough. I really like this, and I don't reach for this, so I need to... That's another thing I want to do with this, you know, going through and decluttering is taking out things that are, you know, hiding stuff I really want to use. When there's just too much, you just go, never mind, I'll use what's out. But if I can look through and see what's there. This is my Pure Highlight Palette. These are a little bit thin. They're not like a huge favorite anymore. But this was the first high-end palette, like a highlight palette I bought from TJ Maxx. And to have something that was pure, like that's not even like that big of a brand in my mind, but I was so excited to have this. So I am going to take this out of here. I'm going to put it in like my nostalgia makeup bin, and it can have a home there for a little bit. It makes me smile to have it and think like how exciting it was to have such a product. This Sleek palette is actually really beautiful. It's super pretty. Has this really pretty cream highlight in it. And these are like icy, icy, icy highlighters. I have a really good dip in all of these too. Like, I don't know if you can see. They're almost a little too icy for what I want now. But that cream highlighter though, okay, I'm going to keep it. Really pretty. I'm keeping that. These two fall in the same category as the two blush palettes from Zoeva, where it's a really chunky formula. It's really thick and the colors are kind of weird. I don't know. Like, I don't know whether to use them as blush or as highlight. Like, this is clearly a blush and a highlighter, but it's a very golden highlight in that one. I mean, it's really pretty, but really dark. Okay, this one's going to go. Definitely getting rid of that. Let's swatch this one. But it's, I don't know. It doesn't feel bad. I think I'm going to get rid of this. I never use it because I'm not sure how I want to use it. This is a really, really, really thick highlighter and a really pink highlighter or a really shiny blush. I think this is just going to go. I just never know how to use this. On to the next batch. Okay, here is the last batch of highlight. Let's see what we're working with here. So many things I don't know where to start. Okay, I'm definitely keeping all of my Fenty Beauty ones. I have 3. They're all fairly new. I've talked about them in several videos. The pink and blue, or pink and purple, however you want to look at that. Now this one I might put that with my blushes. I might actually do that now. And then that one. I think I'm going to put this in my blush drawer and use it as that. So I'm definitely keeping all of those. Absolutely amazing. And I got them for a steal at TJ Maxx, so that makes me happy. Okay, let's go on to this little tiny Jouer one right here. This is in the shade Rose Gold. This is very, very yellow, but like it blends into the skin, but then when it shifts, I I don't know. This is really, really gorgeous. But I just never... Okay. I'm going to keep this. Again, putting that toward the front. Need to be using that. It's kind of that weird yellow shift. So I feel like that's kind of on my maybe, maybe not radar as well. Bare Minerals highlighter in Whimsy. I have a lot of these highlighters like this color that like it's white, then shifts to pink. I don't know if you can tell. I have several formulas like this, but this Laura Geller one is the exact same way. This one, you can see it doing it in the pan. Now, maybe you can't, but this was actually my first Laura Geller highlighter. Just fun facts. I'm going to keep both of these. I probably don't need that many with that shift, but they're just so pretty. These two are actually going to go in my old nostalgic makeup bin. I searched high and low for these highlighters. I found them, and this one was way too dark, and this one is like really chalky. They're not great, but these were good memories of me watching YouTube, so I'm keeping those. I'm keeping my Cocoa Pebbles highlighter. I used it, and it was pretty. It was a little glittery, but I love the packaging. That's why it's still even in the box. It's just, it goes with my Fruity Pebbles one, and I've said before, I have a weird obsession with cereal, so love it. This is definitely staying. This is the Becca highlighter in Own Your Light, and this was the last one they released. I don't like the way this looks on my skin. It looks like I have a bruise, but I am definitely keeping this, you know. My two MAC highlighters, I have Whisper of Guilt and Double Gleam, keeping both absolutely stunning. And this one, I love the imprint of this. It's actually like embossed with stars. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And it might be a little deep for me, but I don't mind a nice gold highlighter like this. It's not too yellowy. Now this Believe Beauty highlight, again, I haven't used, but this is that same white to pink shift. Even though I haven't used this highlighter, I have two others just like this. So if I'm being honest, even though I haven't used it, I think I'm going to get rid of this Believe Beauty one. Not realizing that was the color shift when I got it. You know, I just kind of saw it hanging there. It looked just like white. Because it does look just like the other pink and white ones I have, I actually am going to go ahead and get rid of this. I just won't get use out of it. Do you know what I mean? This Laura Mercier Highlight 01. This is the Matte Radiance Baked Powder in Highlight 01. This is gorgeous. It is a similar vibe to the Essence Pure Nude. This is one of my favorites. I didn't think I would care for it. I didn't like the name, but it looks like the Essence Pure Nude, and I thought, well, I'll give it a try. What is it, a powder? Is it a highlighter? Well, I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth because it's a highlighter and it's beautiful and it's amazing. So, keeping that. Oh, I knew I had another one. The Ciate is also a pink to white shifting highlighter. And this one has like chunks of glitter in it, but I love the packaging of this. And I know that's a ridiculous reason to keep something, but I think I might. I love the yeah, I'm keeping that. I'm keeping it. It's cute. I'm not doing very well on the highlighter declutter here. I have 4 things I'm getting rid of. That's not a lot. That is not a lot. Okay. That's okay. I've done really well in the other categories, so I can give myself a break. It's all right. Okay, we have it a little bit more organized at this point. Here's my Pixie in Delicate Dew. Love this. I haven't used this in a very long time, but look at the, I don't know if you can tell the dip I have in here. Very, very, very pretty. Need to use this one. Need to use that one. Keeping. Marc Jacobs. I'm keeping this one. It is a little dark for me, but the packaging, the everything, I use it more like a blush topper. Oh, it's just, the vibe of this is just so cute. I think that's why I keep all my highlighters. I'm like, oh, it's packaged cute. Who cares what it looks like? I think this e.l.f. one I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. This is the e.l.f. Glow Highlighter. And it's really pretty. It is like a ColourPop feel. I don't know. I just kind of smells like coconut. Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of this. It's just not something that I love, so it can go. The Buxom White Russian highlighter is okay. Still pretty new, so I am going to keep it, but I'm not super impressed with this so far. This is my e.l.f. X Nabella highlighting powder. Now, I like this highlighting powder better than the Anastasia one. I think this is way prettier. Yeah, I'm going to keep this one for the powder and that one for the packaging. Actually, the packaging of this is really, really pretty too. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this. I don't have any other loose highlighters, you know. You never know what you're going to want one for. Okay, I take that back. I do have another loose highlighter. The Pearl Luminizer from JCat. Keeping this also. I feel like this is something I would put in that other container because this is just not cute. This is not easy to use. It's kind of a pain. So keeping this, but not liking the packaging. I have a couple more Milani products. This is my Milani Strobe Light in Afterglow. Keeping that. It's a little sample size. Very, very pretty. And this is the Power Up Duo. It's the gold version of that pink one. The cream and powder highlight. Keeping that. I have a couple of the Master Chrome highlighters. This is the shade Molten Rose Gold. I'm keeping this one as the lightest one that I have. Now, these are that chunkier kind of texture that I don't love. Keeping that. I'm going to kind of swatch these all next to each other. There's the Rose Gold. Then I have the Molten Gold, which is actually really, really yellow. Like really, really gold. And I actually have, this is a Molten Peach I picked up recently. And it is a darker shade technically than my gold one. It looks better on my skin. Like it kind of blends in a little bit more than that gold one. So I actually think I'm going to get rid of the gold one. I never reach for this anymore. I used to wear it all the time. It wasn't quite right for me, but I didn't realize that. So I think I'm going to get rid of the gold one and keep the Rose Gold and the Peach. That's weird for me to do. If I keep one, I usually keep like the whole collection. I'm trying to be better about just separating out what I actually want. I have two from Revolution. These are both actually recommendations from Taylor Wynn at separate times. I'm going to get rid of this one here. I don't like the packaging. Like always, it's something weird, but I don't like the packaging. I'm getting rid of that one. But I am keeping this. The packaging wore off very, very quickly off the front, but the highlighter is still good. Keeping that. All right. Got a couple Laura Geller things left. This is in Pixie Pearl. This is actually in one of those highlighter palettes, but I love this shade. Keeping that. This is Gilded Honey. Now see, this is the kind of gold I would go for more than the Master Chrome. They look the same color, but like when you swatch this one, it blends out really seamlessly. This one's like really orangey, so definitely keeping this one. And I'm going to keep this one in Sunbeams. I just love my Laura Geller ones. They're amazing. Also don't like the packaging though. They have like little bubbly lids. Not a fan of that. This is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Illuminator in Rose Glow. It's kind of that more subtle highlight, but kind of a darker color. I don't know. I think I'm going to get rid of this one. This one doesn't really impress me. So I think that's going to go. All my Becca ones and my Wander Beauty. This actually got at Ross. It's that stick format that is not my favorite, but I don't know that I've ever even worn this on my face. I mean, I had to have, right? I want to keep it because it's Wander Beauty and it's new. At the same time, I don't care to keep it. You know? So I think I'm going to put this in the go. I think I'm just going to put it in there. If later, as I'm doing, you know, cream makeup, I decide, oh, I really wanted that, I'll pull it back out. Like I said, I'm going to give myself about a week to see if there's anything in there I missed. You know, like you could do with your kids' toys when you take them, and then if they don't ask for them back or notice they're gone, they get donated. I'm going to do that to myself. This is my champagne pop, definitely keeping, absolutely beautiful in the special packaging. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. This is my prismatic amethyst. Yep, in the purple packaging, keeping this. This is actually one of my favorite Becca ones, and this is in pure pearl. This is the Pearl Glow Luster Glow Powder. Wow. I don't know, there's something different about this formula that I really, really like. It's not quite as powdery as their regular ones. I don't know, it's just really pretty. Keeping that. I have no idea what colors these are, so let's find out. This is an opal. It's kind of that taupey color. I don't have a lot of highlighters that look like that. I have one in Champagne Pop. I have one in Rose Gold, which I think I need to either get rid of or move to my blushes. And I have one in Moonstone, which is the lighter one. So I'm definitely keeping these 3 in my highlighters. And this one, like I said, I'm having a problem getting rid of Becca things because they're pretty and they're not for sale anymore. So I got rid of the other dark one, right? I can do that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this one. We're going to bring back in the things we were questioning here. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the BH Spotlight palette. I think I'm going to do it. I'm keeping the other 2 that I use for inner corner highlighting, like the Black Light palette and the, I can't think of what it's called right now, but I think I'm going to go ahead and keep those. And then actually, I might move this to my eyeshadow palettes and use it for that. I think I'll do that. I don't mind the chunky texture. That's what I didn't like on my face. I don't mind that on my inner corner, and that's usually what I use this kind of thing for. So I think I will just move this, and it can join its counterparts on my eyeshadow shelf. That was a weird thing to say. Eyeshadow shelf. Okay, my Wet n Wild highlighting palette. I'm going to get rid of the other 2. I'm going to let these go and just keep the palette. It has 2 extra shades that I don't already have. And I did keep the Precious Petals and the Bloom Time in there. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let these 2 go. All right, we're only getting rid of 12 highlighters, which is about half of what I got rid of in every other category so far. But that's okay. Again, this is meant to just clear things out and make it a little more manageable and just get rid of things that I don't want. That was the whole point of this. It's been, you know, stressing me to have so much stuff that I'm like, I don't want this anymore. So this is feeling good to really get the decluttering going. And yeah, I think that's it for this portion of the video. Next up will either be eyeshadow palettes or lipsticks. And both of those are going to be quite the undertaking. So I feel like this was the last part of my simple video. With that being said, thank you for watching the highlighter portion of my declutter. And stay tuned for a couple of more. Watch the ones that were posted before this one. Enjoy the decluttering, the satisfaction. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.